From17 once again. This is my Uncharted Brutal Difficulty walkthrough. This is chapter 14, it's called Going Underground, and this first fight coming up, actually really tough, but it's only tough if you can't get into position. The beginning of this fight is the most important part of it. If you can rush the pillar that I'm going to rush, if you have any grenades, you can probably alleviate a lot of the struggles here. But how this works is, on the left you get rushed by gunners, on the right you get rushed by a shotgunner. Depending on how all these factors coalesce will depend on your success. So when you get up here, immediately spawn kill these people. If you can put all three of these guys down quickly, you will not have to worry about the guy on the right who has the shotgun. So be as merciless as you can be, and just end this fight as quickly as possible. Once you've killed him, you're done. Didn't look like much, did it? Looked like it was the easiest thing you've ever seen me do. Kill a bunch of people, kill him, and we're done. That fight took me about 5 or 6 attempts, because I kept getting instantly murked at the beginning. Just insta-melted. Really, really dangerous sequence. And hopefully that can give you some hope to get through that one. Because it, once again, as I say on a lot of my videos, which I got a really funny comment the other day saying I should stop talking. And it's like, well, a lot of YouTube has uncommented walkthroughs. I even have very specific videos now where I do the uncommented version of the walkthroughs. It's your obligation to find them rather than to tell me how to make my content. Because, you know, for every question, every comment that I get that says please stop talking or you talk too much, I get 50 from people telling me that they really like the way that I break games down and then I guide people through. So if it was everybody telling me to shut up, I'd probably shut up. You know, it's actually easier not to do this. Just making gameplay is fucking easy. Anybody can do that. Adding the commentary is actually very difficult, and I know it doesn't sound like much talking to yourself, but doing it in a coherent fashion and trying to make it so that the entire video is worth watching and that you can keep people engaged, not as easy as you think, guys. It's not a natural process talking to yourself at length. It's kind of fucking weird. But I do it because I love you, and a lot of people give me a lot of feedback, and hopefully I can continue to evolve and make it worth your time. But as I was saying before I broke off onto that tangent, you don't see the failures, guys. You don't see every time I die, you don't see every time I get cheated, you don't see every time where the game is kind and then the game is cruel. You see none of that. You see the moments where I overcame all those variables. And it doesn't mean those variables doesn't exist. A lot of people like to think it means that I'm somehow sabotaging these videos by editing them in such a way that I'm playing on easy and I'm making it look like it's harder and I'm taking credit that's not due. And, you know, those people, you're always going to exist. People love to doubt things. That's their first reaction to everything. But the answer is very simple. If you edit out all the mistakes from something, it looks like a flawless run, even though that's the furthest from the truth. I will tell you if something is a flawless run, because I'm generally quite transparent like that. I like the honesty. This fight right now is only tricky because you have to push up past the pews to trigger the next wave. This is the only reason this is even remotely dangerous. And you'll notice I'm testing the waters to see where the trigger is, because I don't know this game very well. All you need to do is make sure that you have a pillar. There it was, I think. You heard the kick drum. Yeah, and you can hear the people talking. As long as you can put yourself between a pillar and use the third-person cover trick, you'll be fine. Here comes the next spawn, and once again, the danger there is obvious, isn't it? If you get caught with your pants down out of cover with 3 enemies looking at you, you are going to die. This is not like the new COD 4 remaster. This is not like Battlefield 1 on hard. You die when you're out of cover, and that's how it should be, I feel. I really, really appreciate Brutal's difficulty, and I've come to appreciate it even more now that every game this year so far being released has been so fucking easy. And I see some interesting posts on forums, guys, some really fascinating posts. People saying that Brutal is just 100% luck, there's no skill involved, it's just bullshit, it's not fun, it's impossible. You know, all the kind of, you know, I quit, I can't do it kind of mentalities that forums seem to get a lot. They seem to attract it. Have you noticed that? There's a lot of negative people on forums who, instead of trying to do something for an extra hour or so, they would rather go on the internet and just write a bunch of shit that potentially isn't even true. And I'll never understand that. I get a lot of questions, you know, how do you persevere? How do you get through? You just do, guys. There's nothing else. Do you want to beat it or do you not want to beat it? That's what it is. It's a question of will. Anybody can do anything in video games. Here is a puzzle if you don't know. Shoot that one, press triangle, opens the doorway. Pretty simple. But all it is a question of will. You have the skill, and if you don't have the skill, you'll develop it by grinding and just hitting your head against that wall until eventually the wall gives away. And don't get me wrong, the process can be miserable, absolutely miserable, and you might ask yourself, well, why do it then if it's not fun? Isn't games about fun? But there is a beauty in that misery. I get jabbed in the face and take no damage. I'm obviously cheating. That was pretty funny, that. I like the fights in the first game. Coming down here, there is a lot of people. They are quite dangerous, but we have a Beretta, guys, and this pistol is god tier. Nobody stands a chance now. We've officially won the game, and it's going to be beautiful. And if you don't know, using the special combat prompts in this game, doing like the brutal combo gets your extra ammunition, which is a great touch, even though I just think it wasn't evolved into the next part of the series, even though I thought it was fantastic. A melee executioner that gives you different reward depending on what you do is my kind of mechanic, and it makes me very sad that Naughty Dog chose not to take it any further. Similarly, it makes me very sad that Insomniac Games made those 3 Resistance games on the PlayStation 3, but because they're owned by Sony, they will probably never ever reappear anywhere else. The remasters will probably be dog shit if they ever happen and unoptimized, and you'll never see it on PC in glorious graphics with glorious frame rate, which is what I would like to play it on, because I'm itching to play Resistance Fallen Man, because that game is amazing. But this is Uncharted, we're moving through a catacombs, I'm shooting people with a powerful gun, and hopefully you're getting through brutal slowly but surely. You know, it's an interesting thing when it comes to these particular games in general. This collection of Uncharted games, to me, is probably one of the best games that was released the year it came out, because the first 3 Uncharted games have so much to them that it's so much value for money, and then you add these really difficult difficulties they've added, then you look at the multiplayer, the stuff that they give you in this package. Can you name a game that came out this year that's going to give you even half of that if you like that formula, if you like Uncharted? Like, can you imagine if you'd never played these games and your parents pick you up this for Christmas? My God. You know, there's nothing going to compare to that. It'll just completely blow your senses, and that to me sounds awesome. But that's the end of the video, guys, so thank you very much for watching. I hope the guide is helping, and I hope it isn't too late for those who have suffered. You take care now.